So, this is a review of the Airborne Hobgoblin. This is the base model. There's an upper model. We're gonna now keep in mind here. I want to back up a little bit. Yeah. A lot of these things aren't standard. Like the wheels are replaced, handlebars, brakes. Comes with SRAM X7. A couple things I was wondering about when I bought it was the suspension leakage design. So I've deflated all the air out of it, and if Matt wants to get a little video, we'll just deflate it. You want to get a backup shot too?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Like, I mean farther back out so you can see. Yep. Alright. And a couple other things that none of the reviews really tell you is it has internal cable routing, but in most bikes it has a stop. So right here's where it goes in. And most bikes has a stop there, so the cable housing stops there. But on this bike, it's fully housed the entire way, so the whole housing goes all the way. So what that does is that creates a lot of friction, and so that makes you have to lube your cable a ton in order for it to work properly. That's one thing to keep in mind. Also, the when you get it out of the box, the stem is going to be facing up and on top of all these spacers. So your handlebars are up here, and that really doesn't give you an adequate feel. It feels really old person-y. So I flip the stem down. So this is technically in the negative position. So that's -6, +6. And then a few things. These aren't standard brakes to replace these. Everybody talks about good value on this bike, but one thing is that the two things I would replace if I were you were the brakes and the wheels. The wheels suck. So these are Crank Brothers Cobalt 2s, 29ers. They don't come standard. But the brakes, actually I have the brakes right here. The Avidalux are 3s, these are what come on it, but they're just, I'd rather have mechanical than these. I mean, I just scrapped these ones because they're not worth reselling. After about a month, my back one, just one day, just bottomed out. There's no leakage or anything, and yeah, Avids are just not as, Shimano brakes the way to go. Okay, thanks. So we're just going to go in depth about the wheels and the suspension and the drivetrain real quick. So these are the old wheels. The reason I replaced them is, I mean, they're not terrible, but the main things are super flexy. They're not built well, like these hubs. If you can get in close on the hubs, I take it into a bike shop and they had no idea what that brand even was. I mean, and then on my back one, if you can look here, the axle actually isn't the original axle. The axle cracked after about 3 weeks, so I had to replace that, and that was a pain. And then drivetrain's SRAM X7. I'm really loving the SRAM right now. It's a lot. Before I had a Shimano Dior, and I've ridden XT and stuff, but it just doesn't. The SRAM X7's 2x10. I honestly prefer it to XT. It's a lot cheaper. The only thing I wish it came with is this is a short cage rear derailleur, so you don't get a lot of range out of it. And I also wish it had a rolling bearing clutch, but that's something you can buy later. And then also on the suspension linkage, one thing you gotta make sure to do is this has a press fit bottom bracket, and they're known to start creaking. And so when I first got it, I thought that the bottom bracket was creaking, but it turned out that a lot of these bolts, I mean, it's just a full suspension thing. They start loosening up over time, so you gotta make sure to check them. And then also, getting close in on that, if you want to replace the rear shock, you gotta make sure that it'll fit in here. That's the main thing. It's a lot of people, because this shock really sucks. I mean, I only weigh 150 pounds, but I'll pump it up to 200, and then all of a sudden bottom out and lose all its air, and then you're screwed. And yeah, but I mean, for the price, this bike is still super nice, even if there's those few things. I mean, if you know what you're talking about, you can do yourself. And also, it comes with the Riva RL shock, pretty decent. Got dual air, so you have positive air here, and you have another negative air cartridge in the bottom, right there. Another cool feature with the Riva, not a lot of them come with it, but right here, It's kind of the lockout lever, but it's also the low speed compression. I didn't realize that. So basically, that's fully locked. But then, if you want to climb, this is going to keep it so you're not rebounding super quick. So you can kind of pop up on that rock, you know, when you're climbing at lower speed. That helps a lot. And I think that is it. Oh yeah, it comes with a 9mm quick release, which isn't, everybody else is doing 15 mils, but it's not that big of a difference. Alright, thanks.